Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a list of my favorite fictional characters. A lot of these favorite characters are not going to be surprising to you guys because I either mention them all the time as being awesome characters or they come from some of my favorite books, so it's kind of like, well yeah, no duh, she likes them. But I'm going to start with some characters that come from a series a lot of you are now being introduced to because of the Witcher read-along, and that would be a lot of the characters in the Witcher series. Specifically, I love Geralt, I love Yennefer, I love Ciri, and I love Dandelion. Geralt, as a lot of you are finding out, is this awesome monster fighter. He has this sense of neutrality almost because he doesn't just he doesn't automatically jump into situations thinking like this is the best way to do something and I'm a hero so I'm gonna go save everybody. He often sits back and recognizes that there isn't always a set right answer, and sometimes Geralt is caught in some of these really tough, tragic situations, but he always kind of remains true to that part of himself. As far as the other main characters go, Yennefer is Geralt's love interest, and she's this awesome sorceress chick. When you're first introduced to her, she seems very calloused and kind of cruel, but then the more you get to know her throughout the series, you recognize that she actually is extremely passionate about the people that she cares about, and she's very loyal to the things important to her. And then there's Dandelion, who is Geralt's best friend somehow because they are total opposites. He's kind of a total wimp. He's a bard. He sings songs and writes songs and does poetry. And he, I feel like, is what a lot of us would actually be like if we existed in the Witcher world. But when you're reading about him, it's like, oh my gosh, he's such a pansy. And then Ciri, of course, is just the coolest. She starts off when you first meet her, she's a kid, and then throughout the series you see her growing up, and as she gets older, she just becomes such a boss. She kicks so much butt, and she's super cool. I'm gonna move on now to some other favorite characters, and those would be from the manga series Full Metal Alchemist. I am cheating just a little bit here because you guys probably have never heard me mention this, and that's because I only just started getting into it, and I started getting into the anime. I do plan on reading these, but I cannot believe how cool every single character is. All the way down to like the most, what you would think, insignificant side character is awesome. For those of you that have never heard of Full Metal Alchemist before, it's a very unique story. These two brothers who are involved in alchemy, they try to bring their mother back to life, and then stuff goes wrong and one of them loses their arm and their leg, and the other one's soul has to be attached to a body of armor because he loses his body. The brothers themselves are quite young, and normally I don't relate really to really young characters, but these two brothers are so cool. The younger one is very sweet and kind, and then the older of the two brothers is very determined. On top of that, the side characters, I'm serious when I said that you could pretty much take anybody and they're awesome. The soldiers in the story, they just have so much depth to them, and they're very layered and very fleshed out, even though they don't always get a lot of time. And there's one character named Mustang who is trying to bring out the corruption in their, I'm just gonna say their society so I don't give away any spoilers, and his counterpart and kind of like his partner, she's also like exactly the same, and they were war heroes. And just everybody in the series is so great. I'm gonna move to a book where I'm only gonna talk about one character, and that would be the Temeraire series. It is a historical fiction retelling, so it takes place in the Napoleonic era, except for there's dragons. And the character I'm specifically talking about is the dragon Temeraire. When you first meet Temeraire, he's just a baby, he's just hatching, and he's very like new to the world and kind of oblivious. He also says some pretty hilarious stuff. He grows super fast, so he still has this very childlike mind, except for that he starts to get huge and can do work. And he's always like talking to his soldier that he's kind of like partnered with. He's like, why can't we just go like kill some pirates? Like he's always just wanting to be a hero and seek adventure. Moving on to a character that probably one of my, if not my very favorite character of all time. I love this character so much, and that would be Caledon Stormblessed from the Stormlight Archive series. Caledon is kind of caught between two different worlds because he is the son of a surgeon, but he's dark-eyed, and in their world, dark-eyed people are considered the lower class. Because he's kind of caught in this in-between, he really doesn't have that many people he can relate to, but he's just the way he handles it and the way he kind of proves everyone wrong by just being the most amazing human being. In the first book, in Way of Kings, when you meet him, he's a slave, and throughout the book you get flashbacks of his past and kind of see how he got to that point. And while he's a slave, it's pretty grim circumstances. He's fairly certain he's gonna die, he's fairly certain the rest of the men in his group are gonna die, but he kind of makes this decision that he is going to make the rest of their lives good, no matter if they have a week left or a day left. He's going to try to bring hope and happiness to these people in these dire situations. It's just such an incredible story. He's like the definition of what you want in a hero, because despite being from the outside looking in, all these other characters see him and just think he's so amazing and so tough and strong and determined. You get his internal dialogue and his thoughts, and he constantly questions and he gets sad, and I just think he's so relatable and shows like what the human spirit is capable of. I clearly am obsessed with Caledon, but another character that's so great is also from this series, and that would be Syl. For anybody that's not read the Stormlight Archive books, the best way to describe what Syl is she's basically like a fairy. She's called a Spren. She's this little person that hangs out right around Cal. He's the only person that can see her, and she's so cute and she's so sassy. She's kind of like if Tinkerbell were 1,000 times better. And the juxtaposition between Caledon and Syl is great because he's so serious and tough and grim all the time, and then Syl is over here like peppy and happy all the time and always making jokes and pulling pranks. Jumping now into one of my favorite side characters, and anybody who's read this series I think agrees that this character is the best, and that would be Sevro from the Red Rising series. Sevro is probably the most disgusting character that pretty much everybody loves. Like, he's gross. He like picks his teeth and he's like just bodily disgusting all the time, like he's never clean. But he's so funny, and he's got this ridiculous attitude amidst the worst situations, because in this series the society is broken up into different color groups, and it's called Red Rising because the Reds are one of the bottoms and they're trying to rise up and break the system down. And Sevro, despite all of this, is always just being his usual disgusting self, and he's fantastic. Next up I have a character that's just a tiny bit similar to Sevro, and that would be Big B from the Fables comics. They follow a bunch of fairy tale characters, like any character you can think of, who have been pushed out of their homeland and are glamored to live in New York City. Big B is their sheriff, and he was originally the big bad wolf, and he's tough and gruff and so lovable. I don't know what it is about Big B, but oh my gosh, he's just so unlike everyone else. He's like smokes his cigarettes and he's like dirty all the time. Big B is secretly like that tough guy that's actually a softie deep down, and he just kind of wants to be with the lady that he likes, and it's just, you just want him to be with her. You want him to be happy, and you want people to stop being mean to him, and he's so cool. And lastly, this is no surprise, I love this girl, and that would be Vin from Mistborn. So when Vin loves, she loves very strongly. When she's devoted to something, she's devoted. She dedicates her life to the causes that she pursues, and she's kind of always been a victim of their society, but she's so always looking to do what's best. It doesn't matter that people have wronged her, it doesn't matter that the world has wronged her, and she could easily be like, screw everybody, this sucks, but she always is doing what she can to make the world better. I just find that element of her to be so incredibly admirable and incredibly relatable, no matter the fact that their world is fantasy and it's a completely different world and they have magic and stuff. That's something that you could look at in our world, and a lot of people have been wronged. A lot of people have no reason to care about the good of society, but it's like, that's what makes her a hero. No matter what the right path is, no matter how hard it is to take that right path, she always takes it. Anyway, that's it for my favorite fictional characters, kind of specifically my favorite fictional heroes. There are so many great characters from so many books, so I'm sure I forgot some, but let me know who your guys' favorite characters of all time are. Anyway, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you get notified when I post new videos, and check out some more of my videos right over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.